Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Hello everybody. You are now with Dr. Isa Shish. I'm trying now to just give you a brief introduction or a brief summary about the module that I'm teaching at the University Center of Abdul Hamid Boussouf Mila. With you is an assistant professor of English. I'm teaching translation and interpretation, and the category targeted is third year students of English. Let's move to the introduction in order to see what is the difference between translation and interpretation and how translation and interpretation are considered two means of communication. Since there is no one who is capable of knowing all the languages, so translation and interpretation are a need or are necessary in our lives. So let's see the difference. The difference between translation and interpretation is that translation has to do with written text, whereas interpretation has to do with spoken languages or spoken language, as stated here. Translation has to do with books, contracts, and websites, whereas interpretation has to do with medical appointments, with court conferences, and with international and national conferences as well. Learning objectives. The course in hand is designed to or aimed at raising students' awareness of the literary, cultural, and linguistic differences between Arabic and English. There is a time when students are said to distinguish between the cultural nuances between Arabic and English, and they are said to be careful when they deal with these nuances. For example, the word Allah and God are not or does not trigger the same meaning in each culture, in English culture and in Arabic culture. Also, the course is designed to improve students' writing and translation skills. Writing, I mean writing politely or having a diplomatic style. So, writing, for example, a recommendation letter, writing a cover letter, writing a leave letter, a thanks letter, whatever letter is. These letters are texts designed for someone higher than the students, for example. The prerequisites. What students are required to know before they interfere in these schools or before they enroll in these schools? They need to have a certain level in both English and Arabic. They also must have or must know the basic rules of translating between English and Arabic. For example, in Arabic, you should start with the verb. In English, the sentence is started with the noun. Generally, also the third point, which is students must have a good vocabulary and an intermediate level of writing in English and Arabic. Also, writing skills need to be there, need to be present in every single student. So, these are the prerequisites. Let's see the mind map of the course. It means what is the course is all about. The course basically is translation and interpreting, as we know, and it contains 24 sessions. TD, it means 24 sessions. 12 sessions in the first semester, and 12 in the second semester. The first chapter, and let's say in each chapter we have 6 sessions. First chapter, translating literary texts, we have 6 sessions. Two sessions are theoretical, key concepts and literary text. What is a literary text, and what is a style, a literary style. Then we have 3 sessions for the practice. The second chapter is about techniques of translating literary texts, and we will see what is meant by a technique and what are the techniques of translation and how we apply them to have a good translation and this stuff. We also have 3 hours for practicing literary, or practicing the techniques of translating literary text. The third chapter, on the other hand, is about translating diplomatic texts. We see here another issue, which is diplomatic texts. We see the definition of diplomatic text, we see the characteristics, the types, and these stuff, we will see them in the first 2 sessions, this session and this session. The third session, or the third and not the third, this, it means, I mean the practice, or the practical part here, we will deal with only practicing diplomatic translation. The fourth chapter is all about interpreting, or just using side translation as a type of interpretation, and interpret a letter. Types of interpretation and types of interpretation, side translation, and we see how to practice side translation when translating a diplomatic letter. The evaluation mode, how to evaluate students' knowledge or students following this course. 50% is a continuous evaluation. It means for attendance and homeworks. If the mark is 20, then 5 for the attendance and 5 for the homeworks. And 50% is the test. Test is a paragraph, whether it is a diplomatic text or a literary text. And 50%, it means 10 points. The whole mark is 20 points. So we are at the end of this presentation. Thank you very much. I hope you have a very clear idea about the course, and good luck.